Hello again. So we now come to an important topic, which is color, which is something that all of us know something about. We all know how to pick colors when we get dressed or when we decorate a room or our apartment, so it isn't something that we are completely unfamiliar with. However, when it comes to creating visual work, be it design or art, there's more that we need to know. We don't just pick colors randomly, we pick them according to the law of physics. And what we use is this thing called the color wheel. I'm showing you an antique image of it. This was invented in 1666 by Isaac Newton and has been in usage ever since. Artists, designers have used this for centuries now. So here's another example where we have another color wheel, and in this one, also an antique, and in this one we even have emotions that are associated with different colors, and there are many other examples here. Now the way that the color wheel works, I will show you here in an online color wheel application for designers. It's a 360-degree wheel, and we pick the colors from the wheel, and then we use either complementaries, in which case we have two colors, as you can see on the right hand side, or we use three points on the wheel, which always move together, these two, and then from here we look for new combinations. Then we also can do it with 4, which is quite complicated, and I wouldn't advise you to do that. Then we have something called adjacent colors, which are the colors that are close together on the wheel. So they move together. They're also called analogic, also adjacent. And then we have accented analogic here, which is kind of like complementary, because it goes to the opposite side of the wheel, just like complementary does. It picks another color, a fourth color. These three are close together, they are adjacent colors, but then it picks a fourth one, which is exactly 180-degree opposite the middle one, and that is how that combination works. Now this is quite advanced, too advanced for our purposes, so I'm actually going to go to a simpler color wheel, which you can find on the Canva website, which is a very nice portal for all kinds of things related to design. Free, you can sign up if you want to, and I would advise you to do that. And we're going to use this much simpler version to find a color combination that might work with our website. And then we're also going to look at some other things. So we have the monochromatic here, and if we come in more to the center, it becomes less saturated, in fact to the point where it becomes completely gray in the middle. So that's the monochromatic combination. Then we have the complementary, just like we had on the more complicated wheel, which works like this. Again, if you come to the middle, it becomes less saturated, more saturated as you come out, and again it picks the colors from exactly the opposite end of the wheel. Then we have the analogous. Here you can't move these sides in or out, but if we move along here, then here on the bottom we see the three colors which are analogous to each other, which are adjacent to each other, and out of which we could create a design. Now this background changes, the background color changes, but it only changes with just one single color. It doesn't show you the combination, so ignore that part. Then we have the triadic, which picks from exactly 120 degrees on this particular wheel. We can't make these move in or out. So like I said, it's a much simpler version of the other more complicated wheel that we were looking at just now, but this will work better for people who are just starting to design. as is the case with people that are taking this web design class. And then we also have the tetradic, which is then 4 colors. And again, you can move them in or out or do whatever. Now, let's say that we like this scheme here. This is what we want to use. Now, the only way that you can export this, unfortunately, is a PDF, which isn't going to be much use to us, because what we need is actually these colors here. These are called hex colors, and they are what we are going to be copying and pasting into the color box inside Wix, or the color field, the color boxes inside Photopea and places like that. So basically what we need to do is we need to open up a text file and then just copy this and paste it here, and also maybe write what it is, orange, and then this one here is the green, and then this one here is the purple. And then you just save this somewhere. One maybe. So I'm also going to take this one, because these 3 colors I actually quite like, and I might want to use them in one of the design exercises that I'm going to be giving you, maybe even like so. So let me just open another one. So this is magenta, yellow, and turquoise. And I can just save that as color combo 2. So this here, the one here on Canva, is actually a very good basic color wheel that I would advise you to work with. Now, when you go down, it also explains to you why you choose certain color combinations. So I will read a little bit from these. So the complementary are 2 colors that are on opposite sides of the color wheel. This combination provides a high contrast and high impact color combination. These colors will appear brighter and more prominent. Monochromatic, these are 3 shades or tones or tints of one base color. So if it's red, for example, it's a bright red, a little muted, and a little lighter or a little darker, like that. Provides a subtle and conservative color combination. This is a very versatile color combination that is easy to apply to design projects for a harmonious look. So monochromatic and also analogous are harmonious color combinations. This combination is versatile but can be overwhelming. To balance an analogous color scheme, choose one dominant color and use the other as accents, it says. 3 colors that are evenly spaced on the color wheel, triadic. This provides a high contrast color scheme, but less so than the complementary color combination, making it more versatile. So this is the one that I actually copied and pasted from. And then we have the tetradic, which then are 4 colors. Tetradic color schemes are bold and work best if you let one color be dominant and use the others as accents. The more colors you have in your palette, the more difficult it is to balance. Like what I think I already mentioned this, the tetradic color combination is not an easy one to work with. And then it also goes further into primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, and warm and cool colors, and shades, and tints, and tones. So for example, all you get out of just one red is all of this. And hue, saturation, and brightness, or luminance as it's called, and then also color meanings and color schemes. And then they also have some interesting links at the bottom here. So I'm actually going to give you this link here in the post that I make on the blog, so that you can go and read all of this and also learn how to use the color wheel or make your own combinations from it, because this is quite a nice application to be using for the type of project that we're working with. However, there are other ways of finding color combinations as well, and those are made out of images. So you take an image and you create your color scheme from that image, from the colors that are in that image, and these can give very, very good results. Now, there's quite a few online applications that do this. So this, for example, is one of them. Here's another one, but the best one that I found is actually this one here. So I'm also going to give you the link for this one in the post, because it also lets you pick colors individually, which is great. So we start like this, but then we go here and we say pick palette from photo, and then we're going to browse an image. So I'm going to take this here, which is, you will remember, is this right here. Oh, and incidentally, I have discovered a really good way of previewing your site, which is not from the editor, but from the dashboard here. And then if you go here and say preview site, then you will see your site without all of that junk at the top that you get when you look at it from the editor. So it'll show you the site the way that it would look if it was actually a real site with a real domain name and hosting and so on and so forth. So basically what I did is, now if I'm going to create a color scheme that I'm going to use on this website, if I were to take just this photograph or just this photograph or just this photograph and use that as a basis for this here, then I wouldn't get a correct result, because it would only be one photograph, and then there are also going to be other photographs on the other pages. So I need to see all three of them. So basically what I did is I just opened this, and then I use Snip and Sketch, which I think is better than the other one. And if you don't have it, you can just get it from the App Store. I'm not going to show you how I did it, obviously. I just took a snapshot, and then here it is. Now, the great thing about this, like I said, is that it allows you to pick colors from certain parts of your photograph. So, and I can add, so I could take this, for example, and look for a much lighter gray, maybe. So this is more like a white almost. Let's see, like this, and then go to this one and make that darker, and then go to this one and actually make it brighter, because I would like to have one really nice bright color in this combination here. Actually, I'd like it to be even brighter, like so. Now, as you can see, there's quite a bit of black and brown and gray in here, and that is going to be the subject of the second part of this tutorial, which is going to be a separate YouTube video, and it's based upon something called the 60-30-10 rule in design, which has to do with color combinations. So anyway, so let's say that I'm happy with this. Then I just go like this, and I export CSS. So if you download it, then that's more difficult. Just copy it to the clipboard and then paste it in here into a text file. And basically, the ones you need are these here, the hex colors. These are hue, saturation, lightness. This is another hex. You don't really need any of these. You need these. These are the basic colors. So you would just save that as let's do another one. Let's find a good color combination for this one here. So on this one, I have two separate images. I mean, these are animations, but at the end of the day, they are images. They have color, right? So I have this one, and then I have this one. So I need both of them to find a color scheme that is going to be good for both of them, not just one, but both. So basically what I did is I used the snipping tool, and I just saved the two different slides. Now I'm going to go to Photo P and just Control select both of them. So now I'm just going to make this go up here so that this stays on the top, and I'm going to make this percentage, so when you open it for the first time it'll be pixels. I just made this percentage, and I'm just going to make this 200. So basically what happened is that I have this empty space down here now. Now I'm just going to just select this. I can either do it like this, or I can say Control A, in which case it would get selected. Then I'm going to copy it, just press Control C, and then I'm going to paste it here, bring it down, get the crop tool, take a crop, and then just export as a JPEG so that I have a smaller file size. So now it's exported, so I'm just going to go grab it. So it's immediately given me a palette, but I'm not happy with that. So I'm just going to make this become more green, make this become more pink. Oh, this is the cat's nose. It's giving me the cat's nose, which I'm not sure if we really need that, but we do need a gray. I don't think we need this dirty green, but we do need a light gray. Let me see. Do I want to add something here? No, this looks pretty good now. So again, I have dark gray, white, and then I have these three colors which are in this thing. And these three colors do come from three corners of the color wheel, which I can tell just from experience from having done this so many times. So again, I'm just going to copy and paste and just get rid of all of this and then save it. So this is now the end of the first part of the tutorial. In the next one, I'm actually going to go into Wix, and I'm going to start talking about this famous 60-30-10 rule, how you combine colors with neutrals, what percentages to use, how it will look best, what happens if you use really strong colors together and things like that. We'll cover that in the second part of this tutorial.